Hello, beautiful beings. So in this video, I'm going to give a quick overview of my 4 books. So starting out with my very first book, which is now called The Journey of Awakening. This is technically the 2nd edition, which I published a few years ago at popular request. This book is one of my slam poetry pieces turned into basically a Dr. Seuss book for adults. So I did all the drawings myself, and it's a fun book to flip through. You could even read it to kids, you could read it to friends, adults. It's really cool for all ages, but the drawings are pretty fun. And for this 2nd edition, I added about 10 extra pages of some cool, stuff related to affirmations. In the end, I have a bunch of paradigm shifting possibilities. So that is The Journey of Awakening. That's my poetry book. And then in 2016, I published my first big book, which is called Unlocking Our Superpowers, a handbook for personal and collective transformation. So this book I put an absolutely insane amount of time and energy into. It's all different, keys of unlocking these inner superpowers. So it not only deals with personal growth, but tools for community building. So in Pittsburgh, I've been a community organizer for now about 15 years. I've organized, over 100 different big community events. And so I have a lot in here about, different ways to build community, such as the gift circle. So this is my first big, massive book. I've sold copies. I know this is being read on at least 4 continents, which is pretty cool. So that is if you want to unlock your superpowers. And then the follow-up to that, which came out 8 years later, is my newest book called State of Being. And this I like to call my magnum opus, which is like my life's work. This feels like it's the last big book I'm going to write for a long, long time. And I also put an absolutely insane amount of time and energy and love into this book. So I'm grateful that a lot of people have been benefiting from it. The tagline is optimize yourself, optimize your impact. And so this book is really all about how to live your life in the most optimal way so that you can impact the world, impact your community, impact your family in a positive manner. So there's over 30 chapters in here. And what's also cool is we have these full color graphics, which I designed myself, and I'm pretty proud of them. So, they're not super duper fancy, but they're awesome. And, I encourage people to draw your own version of this if you feel inspired. But I feel like all 30 plus of these chapters are like key puzzle pieces that have just enhanced my life so tremendously that I just feel like they're crucial for other people to know about them and to, implement if you really want to level up in a holistic way. So I like to say our state of being is our physical, mental, spiritual, and emotional state in any moment. And the more we can consciously tune our state of being, the more harmonious our entire existence becomes. So this is an awesome one. And then last but not least is the joke revolution. Anyone that knows me knows I love to tell jokes. And for many years, I was, always asking people for jokes at the grocery store, telling the cashiers a new joke every time I'd go in. And I heard so many times like, Kevin, you need to make a little book of all these jokes. I was like, maybe someday I'll get around to it. But a few years ago, I finally put the pedal to the metal and compiled about 100 of my favorite clean and recycled family-friendly jokes. So out of the 100 or so jokes in here, I only wrote about 10 of them. So I like to say they're recycled. Most of them are like generic dad jokes. Let's see. Once I had a crazy dream that I was swimming in an ocean of orange soda. But when I woke up, it was just a fantasy. That can happen sometimes. I also had this really good joke about boomerangs. Can't seem to remember it though. It'll come back to me. So those are the sort of jokes that are in here, but a lot of people really love this joke book. So if you're interested in any of these, State of Being is on Amazon. This is the big kahuna. This one's $35. The joke book is like 10 to 15, sliding scale. Unlocking Our Superpowers is $25 for a lifetime of superpowers. And then the flow book is $22. So if you're interested in getting a signed copy, they make great gifts. And a lot of people have genuinely loved these books over the years, and I'm super grateful that I had the presence of mind to bring them into existence. So thank you for tuning into this video. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me on social media, or you can email me. My email will be down below, and I hope you have a beautiful day. Peace.